Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of After the Hunt. This is where I take my box, this little box here. Every single time that I do $1,000 strap search, I put the notes I find in here. Once this box is full, this is just a little gift card box. Once this box is full, I know there's roughly 600 notes or so in here. I will then sort them all out. I go through my stars, I go through the old notes. I go through everything that I had pulled in here and decide what I'm actually going to keep. And whenever I do this, I like to bring you guys in so that you can see the results of all of these different strap searches. And, well, let's see. I've got the official list here. Let's see. We're going to start off with there was a total of 685 notes in my box. That's the most I've ever fit in there, so that's good. I should do a much better job of keeping track of how many thousands are in there. But based on that number, the 685, I'm going to say that's roughly 15 to 20,000 notes sorted. And yeah, I pulled 685. Not very many at all. In in comparison, some people will find so many more notes than that. Um, some people will find 5 to 10 notes per strap of useless stuff. I don't even bother pulling that. I only pull semi-interesting things. And I've got rationales for every one of these, none of which is to resell to try to make a profit. All right, let's take a peek. Of these 685 notes, I'm going to start with what I called interesting notes here. Let's see. This was the interesting stack. I'm not going to go through them all, but you can see this has got a high number, 9599. Yes, to be a true high number, you'd want one more 9 there. I haven't found a true high number yet, so I always save these just to see if it is the highest number I have found so far. But seeing that it's 9599, 0, I know I have other notes that are like this, so this one isn't as high as I thought. Let's see, I've got this ladder here that's 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9. I think that's neat, probably, and I've got a 7734, which I've mentioned before. That's just a note from hell. I think that's funny. I got some alternators here. Alternators, and then I've got a bunch of Where's George notes. I'm going to log all of my Where's George notes and see where they've been. I thought about doing it on camera, but it's a very tedious process for each note, and as you can see, I do have quite a few Where's Georges. In fact, I had a total of 17 Where's Georges. Keep in mind, some of them are just handwritten Where's George, which is fine. If you're doing Where's George, you don't need a stamp. If you have a stamp, it's much easier to spot, but yeah, you can just write it on there. So you don't even need that. Then I've got things like birthday notes. What do we got here? Oh, that's more Where's George notes. See, so many Where's George notes in here that have to be logged. Another one there. And I'm going to log these, and that way I can bring them with me to Vegas when I spend money all over the place, so I can make sure that those Where's George notes are circulated. All right, then I've got birthday notes. 1954, December 31st. And yeah, you can just see all these different birthday notes that are in here. I had a total of 16 birthday notes. Not going to go through each of these because they've already had their moment to shine when I found them. Then I've got a bunch of notes that I call them art notes. There's 9 of these. There's that boner note. But yeah, all these are written on, and not just something scribbled, or stamped. It's usually something specific. Stamp money out of politics, stamp money out of politics. Weird symbols that are drawn on here. 2 of them, anarchy symbol. And then art notes like these as well. So that was the stuff that I classified just in the interesting section. Like I said, the Where's George's, I'll log those and spend those. The other ones I'll just put in my interesting stack. Like I said, I'm interested in them. I think they're cool. I don't think they're worth anything, but that's what's part of my collection. Things that I like. All right. Other stuff. This stack here, these are my old notes. And you can see I put these in order from oldest to newest. Oldest note in the group, you can see right there, 1963A. And I think there was less than 20 notes that were in the 60s and 70s. So 63B, 69A, 77, and there we're already to 81. So yeah, all of these, many of these are 2003s, 2003As. I will go through these and I will pick out the nicest of each particular year and keep those. The rest of those, unless they are the older ones, the older notes I'll be keeping as well. But the stuff from 95 on up, I will only keep the better ones, just so that I have some of them. Like I said, most people don't see any value in saving those older notes like that, so nobody saves them. That's exactly the case. Well, what's going to happen when someone tries to put a set of these together? They're not going to be any around. That way I know I at least have a couple that are in decent shape. Do I think they're worth anything over face? No, nothing worth speaking of. Maybe a dollar and a quarter, $1.50, something like that. But just to find them in circulation and try to resell them, no, there's no need to do something like that. But if a person's looking for that to fill a set, yeah, I understand. Speaking of filling sets, I had these four. What do we got here? 1969, 1969B. I note this is a 1974 and 1981 and a 1988A. These are all filling spots in my big binder, so that's cool. I filled 4 holes. Let's see. Then I've got my stars. Now, with star notes, I go to mycurrencycollection.com. And what I do, first of all, is I put all my stars in order. And you can see I do have some older ones. This one here was, what is that, 1969? Yeah, 1969 star note. Not in the greatest of shape. But yeah, the first thing I do is I put them all in order by year. And then after they're in order by year, I put them in order by Federal Reserve. And yeah, those are all stars. Once they are in order, then I simply go to the chart. And by going to the chart, I don't have to type in all of these numbers. I simply start at the bottom of the chart with the oldest notes and work my way up it to see if I've got any rares. When it came to rares, out of all those, I did have 4 rares. 3 of these rares are out of 640,000, and one of them is out of 500,000. So yeah, they are rare. Not very many, but I mean, they're not really that rare either. 640,000 is like the first cut. Ideally, you're looking for the one of 25,000s or one of 80,000s. Those are worth some bucks. These, yeah, maybe a little bit over face, but I'll add those to my stack of rares as well. Then I had a bunch of notes that just have random writing on it, nothing important. I pulled these generally when I find them, just to show whenever there's a little bit of writing on it, or like this one here. You can see that's not an error, that's damage. So stuff like that I used, tore up bills like this. Not an error, that's just damage. Anyway, so these are all going back in circulation. Those were easy to weed out. Let's see. I found a ton of trinaries. My stars, by the way, there was a total of 200 star notes. I had a total of 215 old notes. I mentioned the 4 rare stars already. The other things we have then are, these are all trinaries. People want to tell you that trinaries are worth something, okay? If trinaries are worth something, what are they worth? $5 a piece? I don't know. Some people are trying to sell them for that. I disagree. I don't think trinaries are worth anything over face value. MyCurrencyCollection.com says these are not worth over face value. There are 126 trinaries in this group. So if they're worth $5 a piece, according to some people, apparently this is worth $600. Anybody wants to give me $600 for these, I will take it in a heartbeat. But they're not gonna, because they're not worth anything. Anyway, my trinaries, I go through these because I try to find notes that have the exact same serial number. That is a difficult task, considering there's roughly 100,000 different 100 million different serial numbers. 96 million to be exact. So to find 2 matching serial numbers, well, to find 2 random numbers, you just cannot save every single dollar you ever see, because you have to spend money at some point. So I choose to save trinaries, and I choose to save quads. And as far as saving trinaries, let me make sure I get the right box here. Yep. I don't even know if this is going to fit in here. I have a shoebox. There's easily 1,200 trinaries in here. These are my trinary notes. All of these are trinaries. These are all in numerical order. And what I do is I will take my new trinaries, and I already checked. I put these in order, and I checked everything in my box. I do not have a match on my trinaries. So my next step is going to be to go through these and pull every one that is torn, any one that is written on, any one that's just in terrible shape, and these will go back in circulation. My keepers will be added to my trinary box, hoping to pair some stuff up. Then I did find one 5 of a kind, and actually it's 5 in a row. You can see right here 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and this particular one also has a 6th 6. That's not a tongue twister. So it's a trinary, 6s, 7s, and 8s. It's got 5 in a row and 6 of a kind on it. I didn't want to put that with quads because it's not. It's 5, not 4. And speaking of quads, I did find 91 quads. And I do the same procedure with quads as I do with trinaries. Let me just grab the other box. This is my box of quads. And I have this in here just to take up some space. But there's roughly about 800 or 900, probably 800 for sure, quads in this box here. And they're all in order based on the particular digit that's quadded. So zeros are first, then ones, then twos, and so on down the line. Once again, with the 91 that I found, some people are going to tell me these are $5 a piece. No, if you want to give me $500, I'll hand you all these over here. Just hold out your hand, give me $500. Gladly take these. But they're not worth that, so don't. If you have $500 to spend and you choose to spend it on 100 quads, you apparently have not watched any of my channel to see what really cool things you can get for $500, not stuff you can find in every single strap. Anyway, I went through my quads to see if there were any pairs. I'm gonna then go through this stack again, and I'm gonna pull out anything with writing, anything that's torn, anything that's damaged. I'll put those back in circulation. Anything I keep, I will reincorporate into my box. Now, like I said, what am I doing with these? Trying to find pairs. That's what I'm trying to do. The whole point is to see if you can't pair random serial numbers, because it's hard. It's very difficult to do. But it doesn't mean it's impossible, because I did it again. 3, 4, 3, 1, 4, 4, 4, 4. 3, 4, 3, 1, 4, 4, 4, 4. And yeah, I've paired trinaries in the past. I've paired quads in the past. I did it again. Found another pair. Now the downside is the condition of these aren't that great. You can see here it's got a little ding on the top there. So they're not spectacular, but they're still paired. And I can't tell you how difficult it is to do that. That's why I save trinaries. That's why I save quads. Because the more you have, the more likely you are to pair. And by virtue of the fact that this is like my 5th or 6th pair that I've found, I'm kind of proving that. And of course, every time after the hunt, I'm adding more notes to my stack, making it even more likely I will find pairs again. Some of you have asked if I ever found 3 of a kind, 3 notes of the same serial number. And no, I haven't. That would be insane. But not impossible. Just could take a really long time. Anyway, I did it again. I wanted to share that with you guys. I did manage to pair 2 notes one more time. So that's kind of what I do after the hunt. That's when I do all my lookups. It looks like I said, I've got 4 rare stars. It looks like I have 4 notes to add to my binder. I did manage to come up with pairs. The only thing I got left to do is log my Where's George notes, and then call these for all the damaged notes, get them back in circulation, then put these back in my boxes. So that's what I've got for you guys right now. After the hunt disclosure after the whatever you want to call it. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next week.